At this year's Tokyo Marathon, I took a step in the right direction on this quest to become the slowest runner in history to run a sub-2:10 marathon. After a small injury setback, my comeback arc is well underway, so the question on everyone's mind is what's next? When will I be launching another kamikaze attack on the 2:10 barrier? It's finally time to disclose the master plan. So before I reveal my race plans and targets for those, let's give the Tokyo Marathon block a little review first. We've got to see what worked for that one and what didn't, and what changes I'm going to make for the next marathon block. So for starters, I hit some absolute monster sessions. It was all about the long tempos, 30K, 40K, always continuous, because we can't be taking rest, that's cheating. So instead, I grinded out these long marathon monk workouts, close to marathon pace, maybe 95%. And I think those were an absolute game changer for my fitness. Another key part of the block was the races. So almost every weekend, I was getting out there, mixing it up with some of the Japanese guys and slogging it out on the race course. And I used most of them as hard training efforts. I think they massively help bump up my fitness because you can put in so much harder of an effort in a race than compared to training. So basically, to sum up the training block, it was the old school Japanese approach. Cut out all the modern bullshit, the fancy stuff, the frills. Take it back to the train harder, not smarter approach. And I think for me, it was an undeniable success. I hit a ton of PBs, was smashing sessions that I'd never been able to get close to before, and I definitely got in the best shape I ever have been. So all of those things that work, so I'm going to keep the same for this next marathon block. But I think there's a few little tweaks that I can make to just help me take it to that next level and hopefully attack the 2:10 barrier. So one of the major weaknesses that I identified for the Tokyo block was my track stuff, like my speed work. At the start, it seemed like it was improving. I was doing those 1K reps and 2K reps, everything at around 10K pace, which for me is basically a flat out sprint. But then after maybe a month or so, I just ended up stagnating. I couldn't really get any quicker than like 2:57K pace, which then if I'm trying to run a marathon at 3:05 per K for that like 2:10 marathon, that's just not gonna happen. Like that's impossible. There needs to be more of a difference between my top end speed and my marathon pace. So I think just rinsing the same kind of 10K pace sessions isn't gonna cut it this time. I'm gonna change it up and hit a bit more threshold stuff, because last time I didn't really run at half marathon pace at all. Everything was either below or above it, but we're gonna change it up now, alternate weeks between the 10K pace stuff, like 10 by K, 5 by 2K at 10K pace. And then the next week I'll do more of a threshold effort. So like last week I did 8 by 2K at kind of half marathon effort. And it means I can get way more volume in much longer sessions. And maybe that's the secret to unlock those hidden fast twitch fibers. I don't know where they are at the moment. We've just got to tease them out because I can't just stay a cart horse forever. But today we're going to an old trusty classic, the 1K reps, aiming for maybe 8 to 10 of them. I'm probably trying to get as close to 3-minute Ks as possible because I've done a few efforts now since coming back from that injury. Like I did that full marathon, then the half marathon, but I've not done any actual speed work. And I hate these sessions more than anything. I'd happily go and run a marathon this morning. That feels a lot easier than slogging it out on the track. And somehow this was even more painful than expected. So the split started off all right, 2:59, just dipping under that 3-minute barrier. Then we had a 3 flat, then 3:02, 3:03, and then basically flat out just to hit a 3:05. So it was a perfect deceleration session, and already at this point, I was in a world of trouble. Oh, that might be it for the session. I've managed 5. I'm absolutely fucked. After the first rep, the amount of lactic sitting on my leg was just ridiculous. I'm trying to jog a lap and then maybe adapt it, try and do 400s or something instead, but I don't know if there's anything left in my legs. I can barely move now. Oh, I've still got a long way to go to get back to pre-Tokyo levels. But this is not fun. So I had to dig deep and I managed to grind out 10 by 400 off a 200-meter jog, just about hitting that 3-minute kilometer pace, like 71, 72 second 400. And it's just comical how unbelievably bad I am at the track. There was actually a perfect comment on my Strava on this. Someone was basically saying, when you look at my track workouts, I look like a decent sort of club level runner in the UK. But then you take my marathon time and I'm somehow ranked in the top 5 this year. So my geriatric turn of pace is definitely my limiting factor. Oh, it's just ridiculous that less than 2 months ago, that was my half marathon pace. That's crazy. It's just such a slog. Even when I was in great shape, like pre-Tokyo, these sort of K sessions, 400s, 2K, whatever it is on the track, they just absolutely destroy me. Like the lactic sniper, just free pickings. It's just taking easy shots. I get asked, will I do any track races? I can tell you a definite answer. No, I'm retired from track for life. That is not for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure half of my viewers would beat me in a 100-meter race. But talking of viewers, over 50% of you watching this video aren't subscribed. Come on now, sort it out. If you've made it this far through the video and you're not subscribed, then hit that button now. Join the Run to Japan army because we're taking over. So after a long hiatus, I'm finally back in my favorite spot in Tokyo for running, the river. It's a bit of a trek getting out here from my place, but when it comes to a long run, this is the optimum spot. No traffic lights, no stop signs. It's the dream. And today I'm introducing a slightly new session to my roster. It's something I'm going to experiment with for this next marathon block, and it's the fatigued intervals. So the idea is I'll do my normal medium long run, 25 to 30K at a solid pace. But then at the end of it, I'm going to try and rip some quick reps. So maybe a 2K rep or a couple 1K reps, and I'll just be trying to go as quick as possible when my legs are fatigued. And it's getting the body used to picking up when it's tired. So if you imagine like at the end of a marathon, that last kind of 5-10K, that's when I've always crumbled, fallen apart. And this is basically an effort to conquer that, and also just try and force some more speed into my legs, because it's the day after that track session. And this is all in about a 24-hour window. So it's like that Toshihiko Seko overload training to try and get the ultimate stimulus for the marathon. I had to go and rep the mighty Gooners today. Come on the boys, this is the day after we destroyed Real Madrid. 3-0 in the Champions League, Declan Rice double free kick. Unbelievable. So we're painting Tokyo red today. Up the Arsenal, let's go. So one of the other changes I was trying to make after Tokyo was obviously the heat training. I got caught by surprise on race day with that sudden little temperature spike. But luckily from now on, I'll have no choice but to heat train, because spring and summer in Japan are an absolute joke. It's just humidity central. So I'll be getting that heat training in throughout the next couple months as it just gets hotter and hotter. So then the idea is when I do come to racing and I hit that target race, which I'll be revealing a little later in the video, it should feel nice and icy cold in comparison. Right, so I've got a 25K in, 3:55 pace, nice and steady. Now I'm just gonna switch over shoes, put on the super shoes because I need every help I can get, and then we'll go rip a quick few reps. Oosh, let's get it. The cart horse is bolted. I'm on the loose right now, running free, unleashing hell on the streets of Tokyo. Let's see what the splits are. Oh yeah, that was tough. All right, so 30K in the bank. Hit an hour and 55, solid medium long run for the week, and 2 reps with first one, 2:55. And the second one, 2:57. So geez, I was hanging on for dear life in that second one. My form was all over the place. I don't want to see what a video would look like. Just absolutely crawling, arms swinging. I was deep in a pit of lactic, just hanging on. But yeah, just about got it done. And we'll see if a few weeks of that, I start to get a little bit more turnover in the legs and start bringing those track levels up a little bit. And most importantly, I'm sick of getting out-kicked in races. So that's my goal for this season. I just want to out-kick one person in a sprint. I think in my entire running career, I've never been level with someone with 100 to go and beaten them. I challenge you to find a bigger cart horse than me. Not one fast twitch fiber in these legs. All right, post-run fueling doesn't get much better than this. This is a melon pan. Unreal. It's like sort of crispy bread, sugary outside, and then they've whacked a whole load of cream in the middle. This is the premium variety. Let's give it a go. Oh geez, this is why I run, so I can demolish scran like this all the time. Actually, I'd say 90% of the time I eat clean, but it's not so fun showing that on camera. So with the Scran to Japan segment, I've got to show the little sweet treats that are genuinely unbelievable. I'm gonna give the premium cream-filled melon pan an 8.8 out of 10. Could just do with a little chalky sauce to take it up to that top level. But you know what, as Scran goes, it's a strong contender. This is how you fuel the big mileage. So of course I was back out for a double in the afternoon to take the daily distance to over a marathon. And that's all part of the master plan going forward. So one of the biggest changes I'm gonna make for this next marathon block is gonna be in the mileage department. If you thought I was hitting big mileage before, then you're in for a treat because we're taking it to a whole nother level. Actually, the Tokyo Marathon block was my lowest mileage block out of any marathon. Because I was coming off the back of that iron deficiency, I had to play things a little bit safe. But now I've been all cleared up there. So for me, that's the green light. We're going big this time. time. The triple days are going to be coming out. Double days are so last year. I'm going to be pushing it all the way up to around 280k and aiming for some long consistent stints of between sort of 250, 280k mileage. Now recently I've been seeing a lot of misinformation spread on social media. Some unnamed apps preaching stuff like train smarter, not harder. What a load of absolute bollocks. Don't go falling for that thinking you can take the easy way out. Running is a very simple sport. The more effort you put in, the more you get out. But there's actually one app that I can get behind because they've got a very similar philosophy to me, that to get better over the longer distances, you just have to maximize the training load. And they've got all the data analysis and algorithms to back that up and basically prove all along that I'm right. So for this training block, I'm going to be partnering up with an app called Kaizen. And it actually comes from a Japanese word meaning continuous improvement. So very on brand for me. And they've got an Unreal app that's based around weekly training load targets that then helps you work towards your goals and get quicker over time. So they had a look back over my Tokyo Marathon block and dove into some of the data, ran the algorithms, and came to the same conclusion as me that my training load could have been maximized even more. And there's basically still room for improvement in the mileage department. So I don't exactly need telling twice. And for me, that's the all clear to bump the mileage up even higher. Now you can see behind me, we've got the Racing Across Japan map as I'm slowly making my way across the country, taking over, conquering the land. But we've got to put that on hold for the minute because my next big target takes me overseas. I've actually got 2 international marathons on the cards and my next big target. So the first of those races is going to be on May the 11th. It's coming up soon and it's the Copenhagen Marathon. First time in Denmark, so it'll be class traveling out there. And it's still very much unknown what shape I'm going to be coming in at. So this is really more of a B-goal race and I'm using it as a building block, like a stepping stone in the long-term plan, which is a huge marathon coming shortly after, but we'll get to that one soon. All right, so let's talk Copenhagen. So that's the one coming up. So over the next couple of weeks, I'll be trying to get in the best shape possible, get back to that pre-Tokyo level. But it's obviously quite a quick turnaround after the knee injury, like I'm still making my way back. So I'm thinking with Copenhagen, I'm going to train pretty much through it, maybe have a small taper leading in, but I don't want to put a huge emphasis on this race by dropping the mileage right down and losing sight of the big picture. So I'm going to be bouncing straight back into training afterwards. And so using Kaizen for this, you can either put in a time goal or an improvement goal. And for this one, because I'm not really sure what time I'm going to be going for, I'm going to be using the improved plan on here and just looking to maximize my fitness coming into that race. Now, what's cool about the app as well, they've got a very accurate race predictor. So I'll be using that nearer the time. And I actually checked it before for some past races and it was pretty spot on. So if you guys are interested in getting your own race predictions in, you can get 5K, 10K, half, full marathon. They've got you covered for all of them. Then click the link in the description, download the app, and that can help structure your own training load and build towards whatever goal you've got coming up. And if you use my code RAN2JAPAN when you sign up, then you'll get an extended free trial, so you've got nothing to lose. Now, with my sights set on Copenhagen, it's time to get out there for a big, meaty marathon sesh. So I've had a big week and this is the pinnacle now. It's a marathon session on Saturday. There's quite a bit of fatigue in my legs. I feel like I've ramped things up pretty quickly. Definitely not the recommended comeback speed. I've just chucked everything at it this week. Getting up to 240k, couple sessions in there, that medium long run, and then all the sort of plyometrics, GMS and C. I reckon at least 30 hours of running related stuff. And I've got to survive this sesh somehow now. So what I've got on the cards today is a bit of an entry-level marathon session. I like to do it at the start of the block when I'm not in amazing shape, but it's a good way to work into it with some slightly shorter reps. So it's 5x5K with float recoveries, and the recoveries for this were 750 meters, so it's pretty short, and you're going at a decent pace, maybe only 20 seconds slower than the reps. And we had a good squad here, so I recruited a few of my teammates. It's pretty rough doing these kind of long sessions on your own, so it massively helps having them. And they're all class runners as well, so Akiyama's run a 2:16 marathon, Sato was I think a pro back in the day, and they joined for the first 2 5K reps, and then Kato joined me for 4 of them, and he's a bit of a machine over the shorter distances like 1500 and 5K, but then in classic Japanese style can also grind out these long marathon sessions. So the plan for these 5K reps was to go around 16:15 pace, so 3:15 per K. We ended up moving a fair bit quicker, so those first two, 16:02 and then a 16:04. So I've got 2 reps down on one of the floats now. It's getting a little bit tough, but just keep on rolling.
aim for 5, see if we can make it.
And for the floats, we're cruising at a pretty solid pace, like 3:35, 3:40 or so. And then into reps 3 and 4, we went a 16:02 and then a 15:56. We were moving on that one. And I was hanging in there because it was Kato's final rep. I think he picked up a little bit. And I was just thinking, oh shit, I've still got one more on my own after this. I don't want to absolutely bury myself now, but it did massively help having him there to pull me along.
終わりました。本当にありがとうございます。ああ、やばい。ハイペース。強いランニング。Alright, 4 reps down. I've got one more solo. Gonna be an absolute slog. Let's get it.
And geez, I was right about that part. So for this final rep, already I was knackered, then I was on my own, and it was starting to get so busy. So certain sections of yoyogi, I was having to dodge and weave. It took me back to my teenage years playing rugby. At one point I had to completely hit the bank. It started a bit of cross country. I'm like jumping over roots and bushes and stuff while trying to hit like low 3-minute pace. It was an absolute joke, and I couldn't quite hit the same pace as the earlier reps, but I managed to go 16:12. So I was still actually ahead of the original plan. And I bumped into Kawada, who's a Japanese YouTuber I've run with quite a bit before. He joined me for that long marathon session I did. So yeah, there's always familiar faces at yoyogi.
あと、あ、終わりました。やばい。きつかった。Alright, finished up. So tough, the last one. Like on your own, it's just so much harder. 28k, averaging 3:16. Yeah, that's quality. I'm kind of surprised I could hack that. That's not far off what I was doing at my best, like pre-Tokyo, and I'm in unreal shape. Hey, cheers, man. We got quite a few shouts actually throughout the rep. Like, oh, watch your videos. Let's go around to Japan.
Go!
You send the video to me?
Yes.
Cheers, mate.
Man, what's this?
I love it. If anyone, you see me out at yoyogi, give me a shout. It's very much appreciated.
Now, post-marathon session, I'm always in a bit of a hole, and there's only one real way to get out of that. Did someone say, scran to Japan time? All right, this might be the greatest value scran of all time. We've got all of this for about £8, and it's unlimited bread, unlimited fruit, salad, soup, drinks. This is the perfect post-session scran. Oh, I've got this sizzling chicken steak as well. Let's give that a go. Strong. I actually came here with my family when they were visiting for the marathon, like first time I came to this place. I suddenly remembered it after the morning session. I was so hungry. I was trying to edit the video that's coming out tomorrow, but I could literally barely think. I was like, I need some carbs ASAP, some protein. And then I thought, hold up, unlimited buffet, £8, let's go. Oh, living the dream. Oh man, that was unbelievable. Just what I needed. I feel re-energized, revised. And so thanks to that, I'm gonna give the Volks restaurant a certified Scran to Japan score of 8.7. I think you've got to take into account the quantity. At a time like this, after a monster session, I think it's hard to beat that. All right, now I've teased it for long enough. It's time to reveal my next marathon, where if everything goes right in this training block, I'll be making an assault on the 210 barrier. I'm putting it out there right now. That's the goal for this training block, and the marathon is going to be the Gold Coast, July the 6th. I'm coming for redemption. That 30k barrier beat me down last year, and this year I'm coming for revenge. So it's perfect timing with it being summer in Japan. It's absolutely boiling, but then over in Australia, nice and cool, 10, 15 degrees, flat course, easy running, plenty of quick runners. That sub 210 is basically in the bag already, but I'm very excited to head back to Australia. I loved it last year. That was my proper debut marathon, and hopefully I can take a big chunk of time off there. So I'm gonna be documenting the whole build up on this YouTube channel. So if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe as I try to become the least talented and slowest runner of all time to run a sub 210 marathon. So this has been Jake with Ran to Japan. I'll see you next time. Remember, train harder, not smarter.